Hello, dear dancers. This is Joana Saahirah with another message from the womb with a very sunny, beautiful spring, almost summer day. This time around, I want to tell you about an idea most of us have, which is if we're not doing something or a lot of stuff, we're worthless. That's something you see in daily life, and again, I'm guilty as charged. A lot of the things that I teach, I'm quite aware of them because I'm the first one to fall on certain mistakes, so I can identify those mistakes when I see it in other people. You cannot teach what you haven't been through yourself, actually. So this mentality that tells you if you're not doing a lot of stuff, you're worthless, is something I believe that comes from our productivity obsessed society. In Egypt, I don't think people have the same pressure. They have different pressures, they have different prejudices and mentality bullshit. Oh my god, they do. They have their own bullshit. But they don't suffer from the productivity plague in the way we do. That means they can enjoy doing nothing. Okay? And when we talk about Egyptian dance, the question is the pauses and the silences and the parts of the dance when you're not doing anything in the sense of physical activity, when you're not moving physically. Those parts can be the most powerful. Yeah. I remember when I studied with Suher, I had the opportunity to study with her in a workshop, in a festival, Ahlan wa Sahlan, one of the first. And then I caught her in a few private lessons. And one of the things I remember from her classes was the simplicity and the power of her pauses. It was when she was apparently doing nothing that her dance was more powerful and beautiful and meaningful, because she created spaces just to be, just to feel. So instead of externally moving, she was internally moving. And she moved me through that internal movement. So she was not doing things, she would close her eyes and do, in fact, almost nothing or sometimes nothing. But she would bring tears to my eyes and an endless joy to my soul. And I'm not exaggerating. I mean, she was the best thing I've ever seen in Oriental dance until today. I was aware I wasn't gonna see better than that, and I was right, because until now I haven't seen better than that. I hope I'm wrong and I will be surprised one day, but until the present moment I never seen anything so truthful to Raqs Sharqi, to Egyptian dance, than Suher in front of me doing Enta Omri, which was what she was working with me. So combining these two ideas of pause, doing nothing, with worthlessness is a mistake. It's a misconception that I would like you to clean from your head, okay? Yes, sometimes we do move externally, but we also have to understand there is an internal dance and there is an external dance. There is an internal movement as much as an external movement. And sometimes you don't need to do stuff. Just have to feel them. And if you have an audience, people will feel you, they will read you, because this is human communication. It's a human language. Egyptian dance is not a machine language. So you don't need to give codes to people in terms of external movements in order for them to understand you. In fact, you don't want them to understand you. You want them to feel you. Because the magic of Egyptian dance is beyond understanding. It's not supposed to be understood. That is why it's magical. It's in the mystery dimension. It's in the magical dimension. It is not in the mind dimension. The mind is part of it, but it's a small part. This dance goes beyond the mind, yes? So for that, you need to be able to access your internal movement. Whatever you are feeling when you are listening to a music can be shown, if you're really feeling it, not acting, can be shown in your face. It can be perceived as energy, because people read energy. When an audience watches me dance, they don't watch just the visual, that's just a tiny part of the dance. They watch or they feel my energy. If I'm sad, you can tell it by my face, you can tell it by my posture, you can tell it by the energy that exhales from me. If I'm happy, you can also tell me, because we're human and we communicate in energetic waves. They cannot be seen, but they can be perceived, and they are more powerful than the visuals. Yes? So you have the external dance and the internal dance. Allow yourself to feel worthy of existing and leaving the dance from inside and only moving externally when you need. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to do 1,000 movements in order to show that you know how to dance. That's very amateur. It's very amateur. Very childish and very amateur. If you're aiming for maturity as a dancer, you go for quality, not for quantity. You go for authenticity, not for pretty. You go for connection, not for demonstration of your movement catalog. These are different things. Yes, if you're going for excellence, you dance to serve the dance. So you don't have to prove. You're not there to prove that you're something or to get applauded. You're there to give, to share with people the greatness of this dance that is also part of you. So allow yourself to stop and stop doing stuff. Allow your internal movement to be perceived by your audience if you have an audience. Allow yourself to be, to feel, and to feel worthy just because you exist. It is not a conditional worth sense. It's unconditional. If I'm doing 1,000 things, 1,000 movements, 1,000 chores, 1,000 jobs, I'm worthy. If I stop, I'm worthy as well. Yes? Give it a try and you will see the magic happening, baby.